Hello, children, and welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory, and it is Thursday, and it is time to play. It's playtime. I'm feeling, like I'm having a second childhood, and I hope that you'll join me. You will release your adult cares today, and that we will just sit around at the kitchen table with our pens and markers and crayons and colored pencils and paints, whatever you want to play with. And we're just going to have some fun today because it's time to not be serious. It's time to not put pressure on ourselves. It's time to just make stuff that deserves to be hung on the fridge. So hopefully you have some magnets standing by and just whatever paper, whatever materials you have that you want to play with. All right, so nothing too serious today. Um, all right, well, what else do we have to talk about? A few things. Um, I got my second shot yesterday. My wife and I both went down to Cardinal Stadium here in Phoenix, and we sat in our car, rolled up our sleeves, and got got shot. So I don't know. We can do whatever we want now. So we're planning this weekend. We're going to go to a rave. We are. What else? We're going to go to some buffets. We're going to go to movie theaters. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that need to be done that have been waiting too long. In fact, yesterday when we went to get our vaccine, it was the 1 year to the day anniversary of when we left New York City. You may remember that we left New York planning a 3-day weekend in Palm Springs that lasted until now. So, and changed our lives in all kinds of ways. And here we are a year later. We live 2,000 miles away. We no longer are New Yorkers. We now own a pug. It's been a wild year. A wild year. And a lot of bad things, some good things. It's been a year in our lives. And yesterday just happened. It was just, there was just something sort of like if this was the movie, that would be the 1 year, sort of, it was too neat, too ironic that it all kind of came together. It sounds like a lot of folks um, are getting their shots. Hopefully, you are going to get one if you want one. I know some people don't want to get them, so let's not even talk about that. But hopefully, a lot of us are going to get them, and life is going to be pretty different this summer. We can go out, we can do urban sketching, we can go out and see our friends and family again. We're looking forward to making a trip back to New York to get away from the leaf blowers. Um, but yes, it feels like things are going to be different. At least, I don't know, different-ish, different better, I hope. So um, I hope that there are things in your life that are looking up to. Here's another thing that's interesting that has developed in the last few days, which is this, which is this. Um, these are members of the Sketchbook School community who have joined our schoolyard, and we hit 10,000 last week. We've been pretty excited about that. So we asked people to just do a drawing of themselves, kind of like a class picture of everybody who is a member. And we got many, 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 many of them. We're going to be sharing them in social media in different ways. But it's just so great to see all of you and to see how you all represent yourselves, all the different styles and approaches and faces. And it's just so nice. And 10,000. It ain't Facebook, but thank God for that. It's still 10,000 people talking about art, sharing friendship, talking about their lives, their art supplies, all kinds of stuff every day from around the world. If you've joined the schoolyard because, or if you've been eligible to because you took a class or a workshop at Sketchbook School and you haven't come back in a while, come on back. So many cool things are happening. Um, so many events, so many shared uh, accomplishments, And so it's a really fun environment and great place to be. So it's nice that we've hit this number of 10K. Oh, there's my hands. Why are they here? Well, I'm not ready to show you my hands yet. I have actually been enjoying this little mark on my finger that came from wrestling with a dog. It's almost grown out. That's another landmark. Another landmark, switching to iced tea. It's that time of the year. But going back to that little film clip I showed you at the beginning, it's something that really means a lot to me. Those memories of playing and making art. I think it's been like the impetus for everything that we've done at Sketchbook School, for everything that I've done here at Draw With Me, is just to get back to art making as play, as fun, as experimentation, as process. In other words, you're not drawing in order to have made a drawing, but you're making a drawing in order to be drawing. Sounds like a Zen koan, but it's actually pretty straightforward. The pleasure of mucking around with stuff, that's the pleasure. Not, hey, look at how good this looks, or this doesn't look that good. Don't care. And when you look at those kids in that little film that we made, they don't care about what they ended up with. Their mom took it, hung it on the fridge, but they had fun, giggling, playing, leaning over the page, drawing and scribbling. So a couple of things that I was thinking about. One is, I want to show you a couple of books that I think that I've been looking at recently, just because they're kind of cool. Let me just get to this. So here. So this is a book. It is called, as you can tell, Ladies Drawing Night, by Julia Rothman, Leah Gorin, and Rachel Cole. They're three Brooklyn artists. And what this book is, it's published by Chronicle, which is a publisher of a bunch of my books too. And what they did is every week they would get together with a bunch of friends and some drinks and some snacks, and they would set a goal. They would bring in a couple of extra guests, and they would think of something they could all work on. And then so each week a different thing, different snacks, different subjects. So sometimes they would draw animals. Sometimes they would share a drawing and they would pass it around the table. Sometimes they drew, they did collage. Sometimes they drew really big. Sometimes they did repeat patterns. Every week a different thing, a different subject. And they had a lot of cool projects, but what I really like about this book is just that feeling of, hey, let's get together and make stuff. How often do you get to do that? Not that often. I will tell you though, one of the things I love about Spark, which I've talked to you a little bit about, haven't talked to you about that much recently, but Spark is literally every day. Every day we get together and we do this. What we're doing here today with Draw With Me, we do it every day. And it is really fun. So I just love that feeling. I can't wait to do it for real again. I can't wait to get together with some friends and some art supplies and sit around a table with a couple of bottles of wine and just make stuff, right? It's a nice book. Ladies Drawing Night, it can be dudes drawing night too, excuse me. I'm tired of all this anti-male stuff going on. I jest, of course. Ladies getting together is perfectly fine, and I'm sure that they wouldn't have minded if a guy or two came in. So, Ladies Drawing Night. That's one book that I've been thinking about, and that I'm hoping the spirit of this will infect us today, even though we are maybe not in the same zip code, the same continent. We're still together as we are every Thursday, and that is one of my favorite things. I love Thursdays because I get to hang out with you and with all of our friends. So, all right, here's another thing. Go back to this desk thing. This is another book that I think is kind of interesting. If you can doodle, you can paint. What if you can't doodle? I'm joking. She does teach you how to doodle. But I kind of like, what I like about this book is just lots of experimentation with doodling, mixed media stuff. I like her art too. It's pretty cool. So basically she says, like, you can take a doodle and then you can turn it into something else. You can color it, you can do stuff. So that was kind of my inspiration for today. I was just thinking, like, let's doodle. Let's doodle, but let's doodle in a kind of a somewhat directed way. I'll give you a bit of, so it isn't just like, you know, whatever. I'll give you a bit of direction because we're adults and we like direction. If you want to just ignore the direction and just go off on your own tangent, whatever. Cool. Claire, if you can't doodle, I don't know. I don't know. You can doodle. Of course you can. I'll show you. I'm going to teach you. This is going to be an intensive masterclass in doodling because I have spent decades in very important meetings filling expensive notebooks with doodles. I'm very good at it. I did it in school. That's where I first learned it. I went to more than, I don't know, 16 years of school learning how to doodle. And I'm now very, very accomplished at it. I'm a multi-mixed media doodling artist. So that's where we're going to start. So let's go. Let's start. You ready? What you're going to need first is a pen. And that's what we'll start. So let's go back here. I'm going to be using this. I just got this paper. I really am kind of excited by it. It's from Hanamula, and it is Bristol, which I often use. But this Bristol, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like, and this is just the cover of the pad. But this is just very nice Bristol. Very nice. It is nice and smooth. It's smoother than my normal Strathmore Bristol. I don't know. I'm just excited by it, and I'm excited to think about what it's going to feel like to get my pen on it. All right, so you don't have to have this paper. You can have whatever you want, but let's start. And I'm going to pick a theme. I'm going to pick a bunch of themes. We'll cycle through a theme every few minutes. I'll just say, all right, let's switch it up and draw something else. But I want to start with, because I like them, teacups. So I'm just going to draw cups. And I'm just going to draw little ones. You know, again, doodly. You know, it doesn't have to be something particularly, good. It's just a little kind of a thing. I'm going to draw some dots on this one. And I'm going to draw them all over. I'm going to draw them all over because what I'm thinking is I want to then start to link them together into a bigger image. An image of, I don't know, just kind of a massive doodle surface. So, and just again, of course, there's no reference here. There's just whatever it is you think cups, saucers, mugs can look like. And, I'm not getting into, the trying to draw something realistic. I'm just drawing a line drawing, a contour drawing of these various things that I'm making up. It doesn't have to be shaded or anything like that. It's just, it's doodling. That's what we're doing. We're doodling. So let yourself go and just doodle and have fun because we're allowed. It would be nice if we were playing some music, but I'm not in the mood to violate anybody's copyright today. So if you have music playing in your house, awesome. I'm going to move over. I'm going to just keep doing it in different places, drawing cups, doodling them. If you wanted to make a couple that are bigger, you could. You can do anything you choose to do in this mug. So, Wrinkle, you've shown up late to class. We're doodling. So you can doodle whatever you want. Just doodle cups. Doodle, doodle, doodle cups. It sounds like some sort of children's character. Today, doodle cups. Anyway, I think it's nice to feel free this way. And we're going to come back and we're going to hit it up with some color later on. Not necessarily these. We're going to do different ones. We might decide to do, let me just give you my whole page here. We might decide to do a limited palette. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Although I must say, I've got lots of stuff here. I've got boxes and boxes of stuff that I'm going to be playing with. So if this is if you have art supplies that you've been hoarding throughout the pandemic, guess what? It's time to get them out. Get them out there and start using them. Start using them. You know why? Because pretty soon we're going to be going back to art supply stores on a regular basis, hanging out there, asking questions about brushes and pens and paper and all that stuff. It's going to be so cool. Such a relief to go back and do that. All right, so I've covered the surface with a bunch of cups. Now I'm thinking I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do chairs. Just do a few chairs in here. Again, doesn't have to be anything complicated. You don't have to draw them in perfect perspective or anything like that, but just, you know what a chair looks like. You can draw one. So do a doodly one. Do a big fat armchair. Oops, that's what I do here. Draw a big fat armchair. And see how that comes out. Kind of odd. Kind of an odd armchair. Let's see, I'm going to draw something that's more like a dining room chair here. You could draw a stool. Let's draw a stool. Here's a stool. It's got 3 legs. It's got some sort of rung things. There you go, there's a stool. What is this one going to be? Oh, this is going to be like a cafe chair. Ooh, nice. Don't even know where that came from, cafe chair. I like it though. Let's see, how about a nice straight back chair? I kind of drew one of those, but it doesn't matter. I can draw 100 straight back chairs that look exactly the same, should I choose to. This is my piece of Hahnemuller Bristol paper, and I'm going to do whatever the heck I want with it. Legs are too short. Make them longer. Leg extensions. All right. I'm going to draw a little kind of tufted stool down here. Some little, yeah, that's cute. Let's see. What else? How about a sofa? Or a love seat? Can I remember exactly how to do it? Yeah, more or less. Has arms at the back, has a thing, has a doodad, has a side, has a this, has a that. It's fun to draw the same thing, like categories of things. How about a desk chair? That would be good. It's like a little, there we go. Okay, so there's lots of these things. Let's switch. Vehicles. Like a car. Again, don't angst about it. I mean, look at that. That's perfect. That's I mean, I should go and get a job at like General Motors. My ability to here, let's draw a after. Let me just finish congratulating myself, and now let me feel less good about myself by trying to draw a bicycle. It's all right. Okay. How about a motorcycle? How's that song go? I don't want a pickle, just want to ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want a tickle, much rather ride on my motorcycle. All right, what is this? I thought it was going to be a tractor, but I think it's actually going to be like a drag racer. Yeah, it's a drag racer. A very short, stumpy drag racer. All right, whatever. Now I'm going to draw a pickup truck. Throw some couple windows in it. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to do, because part of the doodling process is to come back in and to just, finesse it, add some more stuff. Another vehicle. How about a big wheel tricycle? Do I even know what that looks like? I think so. I think it's like this, and there's like a seat back here, sort of like that. Another wheel back there, kind of. Other vehicles. How How about a big semi-trailer? Cool. 2 sets of wheels at the back. 18-wheeler. I feel like I've been talking an awful lot recently with a kind of ersatz southern / western accent of late. I don't know if it's like part of my attempt to fit in here in Phoenix, although I have to be honest, I would never use an ersatz western southern accent in public. I'm surprised that I'm even daring to do it here because the opportunity to offend people is so high. Oh, here's a good idea. Unicycle. Technically a vehicle, right? Give it some spokes. All right, so there's a bunch of stuff. What else? What do we got going on now? Sang Sob! Nice to see you, my friend. I always feel better when you show up. Thank you. What else can we do? How about animals? Little animals. Tiny little animals. Well, I'm going to start, you'll be delighted to know, with a pug. And she has little ears. She has a mouth like that. Kind of weird eyes there. Sort of a pug. Still learning how to draw them. What about here? How about a toucan? Although technically birds should be another category, but for now they're not going to be. We're just going to include them in animals. Why not? Birds are animals too, you jerk. You're right. Toucan. Like Toucan Sam? How does he look like that, sort of? I don't know. Toucan Sam from Fruit Loops. Man, I love the smell of Fruit Loops. I haven't smelled that smell in a long time. How about a wiener dog? Just because it's probably my favorite thing to draw my entire life. Wiener dogs. Kind of ridiculous animals. There you go, wiener dog. What else? How about a giraffe? Yeah, a little tail. Some spots on him. What else? How about here's another kind of a stork sort of thing? I don't know. The bird who has no name. Can't see me drawing him though. There he is. The bird with no name. All right, come on. How about a monkey? Not the one in my head who's telling me that I don't know how to draw a monkey, because you know what? I'll talk to you later, but for now. Kind of cute. Entirely a monkey. Looks a bit more. You know what? I'm just going to make him into like a raccoon tiger thing. How about a lion? While we're at it, let's draw a line over here. Ears. Again, not faces. I'm purposely trying to draw the entire critter, which is not always that easy. This is sort of like a sort of strange lion, but yeah, whatever. It's a lion because I said so. Okay, some more animals. How about chicken? Very nice. Okay, good. Time for some iced tea. Okay, One more, and then I'm going to switch categories again. What should I draw? A cat. Why not? If this is the first time you've been to Draw with me, I want you to know that normally we do incredible photorealistic things using really sophisticated materials. And this is an anomaly. So if you come back, I'll give you really detailed art lessons that will be worth millions if you bought them normally. So you're getting them for free here on YouTube. But not today. Today you're just learning how to draw pigs. How to do a pig. Big-eared pig. Yeah, this is a strange looking pig. Looks more like a cow with a curly tail. Anyway. All right, well, maybe we'll draw cows later on. Okay, now let's try and draw buildings. Just buildings. Okay? Just because I can't draw buildings. All right, here. I'll show you. If you wanted to learn urban sketching, I'm going to give you an urban sketching lesson. Here you go. Chimney, urban sketching. There you go. There it is. Done. But now let's get a bit more adventuresome. Let's draw a really tall building with a short building next to it. Maybe it's like a factory. Has sloping roof. Has a couple of smokestacks. There you go. It's a rather strange looking building. Let's draw a church. All right, has a cross on the top. Has a side thingy. Has that. Here's a church. Has some windows on the side. Sort of cathedral-like. Anyway, let's draw an apartment building with little balconies. Maybe the balconies go like that. This looks like my building in New York. And has maybe a TV antenna on the top. And it has, like a kind of a doorway. It has a doorway. It's a building. Of course it has a doorway. Okay. Let's draw like a log cabin. With this chimney on the back. Whew. Okay. How about drawing some people? Just a few people in there because, I have nothing against people. As a person, let's draw another person who's maybe slightly larger here. So, have you found anything so far that you said, what? A person? No way. I can't do that. Yeah, this is going to be like somebody with a flip hairdo. And, or if you said like a mug, what are you, crazy? I can't draw a mug. She's wearing boots. She has a handbag. Yeah. So, turns out you can. Turns out you can draw anything. Did you know that? Did you know that you can draw anything? Not necessarily incredibly well. That comes with time. So this is a person wearing an apron, like a shopkeeper. Okay. Yeah, you can draw anything, it turns out. Here's a person in profile, and she has like a really nice long hair because she hasn't gone to the hairdresser for some reason in a year. Wonder why that is. Yeah. She's wearing a striped dress, of course, as one will. Yeah, okay. So yes, so any more vehicles? Anything? If you want to go back in and say, you know what, this really needs a station wagon. It turns out it does. Needs a station wagon. So you can effortlessly put one in. Okay, so what next? How about some fruit? Like here's a peach. Over here, oh my gosh, it's a banana. Oh, that's brilliant. It's either a banana or a hot dog or a canoe. You know, it falls into other categories effortlessly. How about some grapes? Grapes, you know, I'm thinking of teaching a 4-hour workshop on how to draw grapes, but instead I'm going to let you see them for free here. Ready? Because you missed it because it was off camera. Grapes, awesome, huh? How about an apple? Done. How about a lemon? No, it turns out it's not a lemon. Turns out it's an orange. Yeah, you missed it. It's right over there. Okay, so how many of you have left? Because you're like, what the hell is this guy doing? Drawing. This is not what I signed up for. What did you sign up for? A pear? Learning how to draw a pear? Done. Dunzo. Am I missing anything? I'm missing, of course, a watermelon. This looks actually more like a ham. I've kind of forgotten what a watermelon looks like. It's been a long time since I've had a watermelon. Yeah, see that? That started out as a watermelon. Turned into like a nice Parma ham. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now let's take a break from drawing and let's get into coloring. I'm going to start with, I got here, look, check this out. What have I got? I've got lots and lots of ballpoint pens. I have, these are Pentel sign pens, nice and smushy. I've got a thing of colored pencils over here, which I might use. These are Derwent Inktense pencils. But I think I'm just going to stick to some basics. I'm going to start with a red ballpoint pen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you can color in if you want to. You could certainly color it in, color in the whole thing. Like I'm going to give this guy red pants if I want to. But what I'm going to try and do actually is I'm going to spread the love around, and I'm going to just doodle in different places because I want to have color in different places, different kinds of color, and that's cool. So it's just keeping it simple for now because I want to have sort of this one color kind of unify the whole thing for now. We'll add another color later on. And you don't have to just color in. You could actually do another level of drawing. Like here, I'm drawing little triangles in red on this teacup because, it's one of those, that whole series of red triangular teacup things? Yeah, this is one of them. It also has a ring of red around its how you say, saucer. I really like the idea of striped teacups, but I don't believe I've ever actually owned one. What else? Grapes. I'm going to color in some of the grapes, but not others. And then I'm going to, I'm going to give this car flames. Oh, awesome. Although I think I may have drawn them on the back, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, this is kind of like turning into like a little, little deuce coupe. It's a little deuce coupe. You know what I mean. Okay. And yeah. Oh, this is an apple, so of course it needs a little highlight. And then, yeah, here we go. Oops, I colored outside the lines. Alert. Do not color outside the lines. That's crazy. This guy I'm going to give like, do some lettering on the side here. This is your world. You know, do you remember Richard Scarry? Did you ever look at his stuff? Busy World, busy world, and he would do these really complicated scenes of like these worlds. Children's book illustrator. Worlds with incredible perspective, like seen sort of from above, like a kind of almost like a bird's eye view sometimes, but really, really detailed and beautiful. And there would be like basically animals were his characters, so there'd be like pigs and bunnies and stuff like that. But man, that guy could draw like nobody's business. The gas tank on that motorcycle. So yeah, so we're continuing. Here's a pig. He's a red pig, from the famous red pigs of Oregon. With pink nose. And yeah, okay, switching. I'm going to switch. I'm going to throw in a bit of blue now. Putting in some blue. Yeah, blue striped teacup. That's really what I want. I would like to have. It's a very English thing, those blue striped teacups. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oops, I actually did some. I did some shading. Eek. Sorry, didn't mean to. Couldn't help myself. But yeah, there we go. So, just gonna keep going. This is a teacup with. Couldn't quite tell what that was at first. I thought it was a block of cheese. So, yeah, this goes on and on and on. So yeah. Shall I add another color? I'm kind of liking this world of black and red and blue, but I think I'm going to bring in another similar color, but a different thing. This is one of those sign pens I mentioned before. It is nice. It's super smooth to draw with. It's really nice to write with, and cost like 8 cents. They're really inexpensive. Don't last for that long, but they're fun while they last. I like them. Maybe I'm going to draw a puff of smoke coming out of that strange chimney. Let me see if I have I do. I have a red sign pen, so I'm going to make this a red giraffe. Yeah. Just easier, faster to draw with. That was whatever that hot rod thing was supposed to be. So, yeah. And then if I wanted to, I could introduce a different blue. I'm just being very, very confined in my doodling. There are rules to this doodling. It isn't just like a free-for-all. I'm just trying to keep it down to 3 colors. But I might go nuts later on and add a 4th, a 5th, a 10th. We'll see. Are you enjoying yourself? Are you making a world? That's not what this is about. It's making... It's making, creating a world where you determine what the rules are. And this pen has kind of had it. Put in a little pink. So, but I might just decide to add another color. I might just say, you know what? It's time. I'm sick of this limitation. And if you wanted to, you could certainly do other things. Like you could draw around them, you could write around them, you could connect them with various shapes, lines, borders, all that kind of stuff. But this is, it is drawing. For those of you who are saying, this isn't even drawing. Well, obviously it is drawing. It's not, what you would call fine art drawing. But here's what I like about it, in terms of if you wanted to do quote unquote more serious drawing in the future. This is a way of, just getting more familiar with your tools, perhaps. Seeing what can you do with ballpoint pens. It's also stretching your visual memory by making you remember what the hell a chair looks like. But it is also I think just getting you in the flow, the creative flow. So much of this kind of activity is what we might call mindless, but I would say in some ways it's mindful, because I think it is relaxing your critical, voice, and just allowing you to make without anxiety, which comes in helpful, because then you're not associating art always with, oh my god, I suck, or associating with, oh, this is going to be really hard. Instead you're just saying, like, I can do this. And if you can do this, then maybe you can just do a drawing of a teacup and spend 10 minutes doing that teacup. You know what I'm saying? You can just focus on that one thing, with kind of the same impulse as you did when you were doodling, but just go a little bit further. Just spend a little bit more time drawing some more details. Maybe draw it a little bit bigger. So that kind of thing, it eases you into it, and but I think most importantly of all, it's about playing. We just don't get to play that much as grown-ups. Particularly with like 80 cents worth of art supplies. You don't need to go crazy to do it. You can just kind of do this. You could do this. If you did this, a few times a week, just spend an hour doing this. Just sit there, listen to the radio, listen to my podcast, Art for All. Have the TV on in the background. Just doodle. You're allowed. And I think it just releases and relaxes your creative faculties. So then you go, that was pretty fun. I want to see what else I can do with that, in that spirit. So you do. Let's keep going. And also do it with some kids. If you have some loose kids hanging around, get them to join you. Kids are great at this. Really good. Really good at it. They'll have interesting approaches you might not have thought of. You can learn from them. Hey, this lion has a tail sticking straight up in the air. That's ridiculous. That's not what lions' tails do. I'm sorry. have to say this paper has turned out very nicely. It's really nice and squidgy. I like it. If you've never used Bristol, it's not expensive. But it's nice and thick. See, you turn it over, nothing. There's no bleed through. There's no nonsense. And yeah, meanwhile, we have this whole page of stuff. So, I feel pretty cool. I mean, not cool, but chill, as the young'uns say. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, that was good. So, I have to leave because we do this thing in Spark called Draw With Me After Party. Remember after parties where the cool people go? Yeah, that's what this is. So we just, those of you who are in the audience who are members of Spark, I'll see you in the after party. Those of you who aren't, you'll be signing up. You'll be coming over and joining us, or not. It doesn't really matter. If you want to, just sit here. Keep going. Just keep sitting here at your computer for the next hour. Pretend that you're at the after party. It's going to be the same thing. You just won't have me yammering at you. But just keep working on this. Keep working on fill the whole page. I mean, there's still a lot of real estate on this page that I could have filled. And what kind of Bristol is it? Hanamula. Bristol. Graphique. Nice little Bristol. Yeah, so just keep going. Do this on a regular basis. Do it every day until next Thursday, and they'll do something else. I have an idea for next Thursday that I think you're going to like. Yeah. I'm trying to be more organized about this. A lot of times I'm like, Draw With Me starts in 4 minutes. I better think of something. That's not really true. I do think about it a few days in advance, but now I'm trying to think. I sat down, and I have this special pink book here, which is full of amazing ideas. You can tell because it says ideas book in it. But yes, it's full of, actually, it has lots of interesting and cool ideas in here, which I am going to share with you over time. But yeah, I'm trying to get better prepared so that you can have an even more pleasurable experience in the future when we work together. Some interesting things in the back here. Oh my gosh, yes. See this? United States Senate and House of Representatives. Because I was invited to speak at the Senate. That was like just before the pandemic. I spoke to all the people who work at the Senate about drawing, tried to get them to draw. You can imagine how that went. It actually wasn't bad. I went a couple times. It was okay, but it was an experience. I'll tell you about it sometime. All right. Meanwhile, I got to go to the after party. I'll see some of you there. It was really fun, and nice to see you. I'm excited. I feel excitement. I haven't even had a cup of coffee this morning. I had that iced tea, but I'm feeling it. Feeling spring quickening. And for those of you in Australia, I'm feeling autumn approaching. This is the time of change, a time of transition to something new. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a time of rejuvenation. For you in the Southern Hemisphere, it's a time of death, darkness, and cold. But it's a change, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. I know. If you want to post whatever your doodly stuff is, remember to hashtag it. Tag it with hashtag SBS Draw With Me. If you put it on Facebook or Instagram, or if you put it in the Sketchbook schoolyard with your other 10,000 friends, 10,000. Anyway, and then we'll find it. I'm not smoking, Chew. Chew's accusing me of smoking. No, I'm not. I'm a non-smoker. That's something we'll talk about another time. Anyway, thank you.